Something that will forever irk me and just absolutely make my blood boil and make me lose my shit is when people ask women, why are you single? Now, this question in and of itself is especially infuriating because it's always said with but why? What's wrong with you? Is the energy it's giving.
I think it's personally a very fair question to be asking, considering how easy modern women have it when it comes to dating. If you are out here, and especially if you're pushing 30 as a woman and you are still single, this is not the men's fault. People are going to be asking, what the hell have you been doing this entire time? Because modern women, guys, as much as they complain about dating and men not putting in effort, they could have a relationship if they wanted one, right? But the men that want relationships with them, they're just not good enough. But what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another episode. And on today's episode, we are going to be kicking it off with a clip from this woman right here, who is completely insufferable. I'm going to assume that she's single. I think we can all safely assume that. And she is just losing her mind because she's starting to get those questions, you know, maybe at the family gatherings or something like this. People are asking her, why is she still single? I think that this is a very fair question to ask, but a lot of modern women, they lose their marbles over it. They absolutely lose their minds. So let's jump into it, guys. As always, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Why do you think that this woman is single? Let's take a listen.
Something that will forever irk me and just absolutely make my blood boil and make me lose my shit is when people ask women, why are you single?
You gotta love the temperament of a woman, by the way, that will absolutely fly off the handle if you ask her a basic question. Like, let's imagine for a moment you're in a relationship with this woman, and if you ask a question and she feels criticized by it, she's going to lose her mind, she's going to be infuriated, she's going to have an issue with you. And you see, this is partially why dudes don't want the headache, is because they can't even talk to you, right? I think it's a valid question. I think if you're a woman and you're single, the question is, what the hell have you been doing this entire time? Especially if you're in your late 20s, early 30s, things like this. I think it's a very fair question, but of course it pisses her off because she is still single.
Ask women, why are you single? Now, this question in and of itself is especially infuriating because it's always said with why? What's wrong with you? Is the energy it's giving. It's even worse. It is even worse, and just especially gets right in there and irritates me 20,000 times more is when the lead up to this is, you know, you're such a great catch. You're so pretty. You've got such a great personality. Like, you're the total package. Why are you single?
Okay, so first of all, I don't think people are really saying this to her. You know, saying that this woman has a great personality. I have known this woman for 54 seconds, apparently, according to this video. And let me tell you this, my first impression, not a great personality. Maybe I'm just a bad judge of character, guys, but I find this woman to be totally insufferable. So people are saying, let's just go with her story for a second here, okay? People are asking her, why are you still single? They're saying you're the total package, you got the personality, you're so pretty, all of this kind of crap. The thing is, even if this woman, you know, has a terrible personality, which I think she does, you know, not altogether that attractive, blah, 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 women can have a relationship. Like, let's not get confused here, okay? I said this at the beginning, and I really do truly mean it. Dating for women is not difficult. The problem that women have in dating is, number one, their own standards get in the way. And number two, they just can't get the men that they want to commit to them. It's not a matter of can they get commitment, because you can be some woman, right? You can be a woman in your 50s. You can be unattractive, have never taken care of your health, right? No job, no nothing. And there will still be some simp who will have a relationship with you. So the question really does become, what the hell are you doing? What is wrong with you to the point where you are still single. Now, let me just preface by saying this, guys. I don't really care if women want to go out there and be single, they're not interested in dating, then just say that. It's not, you know, like just say that. But they don't want to say that. They'd just rather get offended by the question. If you want to be single because you're working really hard on your career, okay, just say that. But no, right? Because the thing is, these women are trying and they are so clueless and they just screw up endlessly in dating. That is the funniest part about this, guys, is the questions have truth to them because there is something wrong with these women, you see? Let's wind it back and continue.
You're so pretty. You've got such a great personality. Like, you're the total package. Why are you single? Okay? It's almost like it's being said in a way that's like, why hasn't anybody picked you? Like, you're so great and amazing. Why hasn't anybody picked you?
Yeah, so here's the thing. The dudes that you really want, they're not going to pick you. These guys have no reason to pick you. Again, this woman's personality is nothing to write home about, okay? These women are oftentimes not very feminine at all. A lot of the times they're incredibly disagreeable. They'll start arguments with you over nothing. I mean, and then, you know, if you're a dude and you want to have a long-term committed relationship with these women, half the time their Instagram has a bunch of like spicy photos on it. They've got 300 dudes in the DMs who they've matched with from dating applications over the years. And even if you wanted to, as a self-respecting dude, trying to actually have a long-term relationship with these women, even if you wanted to, right, is damn well impossible, man. Like, I've said this before, but if you think that you're going to be some dude who's going to walk into a woman's life like this and be her next successful relationship, let me just tell you, statistically speaking, there is going to be some dude that comes after you. They've just been with too many dudes. They can't pair bond whatsoever. They think that they're, you know, worthy of dudes who are very highly attractive and so on, and they don't even give a damn about the average guy. Me personally, guys, when I think of this question, I don't think of why hasn't anybody picked you. I just think of like, how many dudes have we gone out there and screwed and failed to get commitment from? That's really what it comes down to, man. Because women have an incredible amount of options. They just don't want the ones that they think that they're better than, you see.
Picked you. Like, you're so great and amazing. Why hasn't anybody picked you? Insinuating that there is something inherently wrong with you. Because
True.
It is the goal of a lifetime. It is the honor of our life to be chosen by a man.
I mean, I don't think that's what people are saying. I think they're just asking the question, why are you single? Whether that be because no dude is choosing you. It's a combination of two things, really. I mean, the dudes that they want are not choosing them. And then also these women are absolutely terrible at choosing men. It's really is. It's quite the perfect storm. Nobody's saying that it's, oh, such a great That's not the implication that's being made here. This woman's just trying to get agitated. Okay, I'm not out here. People aren't out here saying like, yo, it's your life goal to get with a man. You have to get married. I don't give a damn if this woman doesn't get married. It probably saves some dude from having to be in a marriage with her. So it's no skin off a dude's backs. It's just a general question. You know, a lot of girls, maybe their life goal isn't to get married. Cool, I don't care. It's just a question. You know, but of course she has to get super triggered by it. It's really not that serious, but it just infuriates her 20,000 times more. Like, yeah, again, imagine living with this woman, by the way. You ask a question like this, and she's already getting pissed off. She's making a whole TikTok video about it. This video goes for a few minutes, by the way. Can you just imagine living with this woman? Guys, no, thank you. Somebody else take this woman, please.
Goal of a lifetime. It is the honor of our life to be chosen by a man. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. In honor of being asked this question on a fucking daily basis.
I guarantee you this woman is not being asked this question on a daily basis. I can guarantee you. Nobody is invested into your life, madam. You might get this question here and there. maybe your family is also asking you because, you know, your parents might want to have grandchildren or something, and they're realizing that the chance of their bloodline continuing is dwindling by the day because of how insufferable you are. You know, you might get some questions from some family. Maybe a couple of people might ask you, a friend, some dude that you meet, you know, like, and I think it's a perfectly valid question. I really do, guys, because especially as women get older, there is a reason why they're still single. It's not because they can't get a relationship. That's not the factor that's making them be single. You see what I'm saying? There's always a reason, and particularly as women get older and older, the reason doesn't exactly get more positive. You know, it's not like you ask a 35-year-old woman, for example, the question, why is she single? And you get an accurate answer, and it's not going to be pretty. You know, it's not going to be a nice answer. Now, I will make an exception for women who are widows and things like that. You know, married, the dude passes away. That's very sad, obviously. But the majority of women are not in this situation, man. They're just completely insufferable, and they think that they're better than the average guy. That's really what it boils down to.
We are going to start a series where I give you an answer. I give you a multitude of answers, because for me now, when I'm asked this question, I'm like, which answer do I want to give them? Because there's about 80 million, baby. How about I'm the chooser?
Okay. If you're the chooser, madam, okay. So does this mean that every guy is just not up to your standards? Is that what's happening here? And by extension, I have a follow-up question. Are you celibate? Because generally speaking, guys, these women have hooked up with a whole bunch of dudes, but apparently, you know, she's saying that she is the chooser. I'm just a little bit lost here, man. I'm just confused. You know, she's the chooser, but this woman is obviously not celibate, and yet she's failed to get a relationship. Because what the situation looks like to me is you've gone out here, you've hooked up with a bunch of dudes, and like many modern women, you've failed to get a relationship. And now you're trying to sit here and being like, I'm the prize. Now, I will say this, guys, in a certain line of thinking, I do agree that modern women, they really do have the ability to select, like they have the ability to select a man, but they never want the ones that they select. You see what I'm saying? Like they always choose the dudes who have to choose them. Very interesting how that works. Quite funny. People have all sorts of different perspectives on this, but I don't think you get to say that you're the chooser as a woman if you're still single, because you have a bucket load of options. So yeah, how's that working out for you, being the chooser, madam? How's it going? Because you seem to choose really damn poorly, if indeed you are the chooser, as you say.
I want to give them, because there's about 80 million, baby. How about I'm the chooser? I have not found anybody that I think is really at my level. Like,
there's no way, guys. Nobody is at this woman's level. All right, she's ascended. Okay, she is just out of our realm of reality, guys. We're not even perceiving her right now. What we're looking at right now, this is an omnipotent human being. Okay, she's ascended to godhood, right? All of us lowly peasants, we are below this woman.
At my level, like mentally, that I feel like I'm mentally challenged, mentally stimulated with. I haven't met anybody that I'm interested in enough to really say, yeah, I want to date this person. Like, I think they're so great, I actually want to date them. People.
Okay, so number one, I'm going to pause it here and call complete nonsense. I think that these women do have men that they want to date. You know, I think that this woman has probably come across a whole bunch of guys that she really was obsessed with, that she was really quite interested in, but these men don't want commitment with her. Now, for those of us with eyes, it's not hard to see why this might be the case. Okay, guys, I have known, again, this woman for 1 minute and 54 seconds, and I can see why men don't want relationships with her. Even the dudes who don't have a lot of options, who this woman would consider below her, I don't think a lot of these guys would truthfully be interested in a relationship with her. And the problem that modern women have to, you know, come to terms with, and they don't want to because it constitutes reality here, is that men don't really have to have relationships with you as well if they don't want to. you know, and a lot of them essentially they think that they're a lot higher than they actually are. I deserve a man who's on my level. He needs to be making this much money. That's usually what that means as well, by the way, is the dude has to make at least as much money as she does, plus more, or he has to be really quite attractive, or a combination of the two. But let me just ask you this. For the guys who make a lot of money, or more than you at least, and are highly attractive, what possible reason do these dudes have to get into a relationship with you in the first place? That's always my question. It's always well and good. You can come out here, you can make these demands. I'm on this level. I need a man who's at least this level, at least, right? You can make these demands, but the problem is men don't actually have to agree to these demands. You know, you can say that you're worth X, but that doesn't mean that you are actually worth X, especially when nobody's buying. These men that you want, nobody's interested. Nobody's willing to put a ring on it, as it were. This woman says that, again, no dudes are interesting to her for a long-term relationship or anything like this. But I guarantee you there's been a bunch of dudes that this woman has chased, that this woman has hooked up with, who she just couldn't get a relationship out of. Again, the women who act like this, they're not celibate guys. They don't go like the last 5 years of their lives completely abstaining from men. That's not what happens. They go out there, they hook up with dudes on dating applications, then they become bitter and pissed because these men don't want relationships with them.
Yeah, I want to date this person. Like, I think they're so great. I actually want to date them. People that cannot fathom that, like the people that think, yeah, right, like you need a fucking brain scan.
I need a brain scan. Interesting.
You cannot fathom the fact that a woman is like, he's just not, I haven't found somebody that's really at my level. That's where I'm at, that has put in as much work as I have put in. I haven't genuinely met someone where I'm like, oh my God, this guy can lead me. He can lead me into the fairy tale land. What's like even funnier is that the guys that are asking you this question are like older guys that are like, oh my God, I would be all over you, like if I was your age. And then the girls that are asking you, or the women, are like, oh my God, like these are your best years. Like, really? Like almost like they're like depressed and sad for you. Like,
yeah, so the women who are asking this question, right, particularly if they're older, what they probably understand, probably the older guys too, is they understand that you're really wasting time here. Now, the thing is, you don't have to get a man when you're in your 20s, for example. You can, by all accounts, you can wait until you're 40. There will be some simp who will come along and probably put a ring on it. But the problem is the quality of man that you're going to get there, at least in your eyes, is going to be a hell of a lot lower. So if you want to screw around in your 20s, you want to party, you want to say that there are no good men and you haven't found one, that's fine. But it's going to get a lot worse for you as you get older and older. You see what I'm saying? Like, again, you can do it as a woman. You can be like 35 and there will still be dudes who will be interested in you. But it's going to be a lot less of the quality that you really want to. So these women are probably trying to say, hey, listen, you should probably focus up a bit and get a man, right? Because this is a very good opportunity for you. You have so much power in the dating market. You have so much ability as a woman to get a guy who is, you as a woman can get a dude who is successful, who's going to look after you for the rest of your life. And you are screwing around with dudes on dating apps. And so, of course, the older women are going to be like, yo, what are you doing? Like, what the hell are you doing? The older guys will also think the same thing, because they'll understand that you're essentially screwing yourself over. Now, again, you don't have to do this. I don't care. People probably don't even care that much what the hell you do with your life, as much as you can sit. You think that they care, but they really don't. You can do whatever it is that you want. You can be a strong and independent woman. You can work until you're 70. Not my problem. In fact, I think a dude is probably going to be better off not looking after you, and so on. But let's continue.
I would be all over you, like if I was your age. And then the girls that are asking you, or the women, are like, oh my God, like these are your best years. Like, really? Like almost like they're like depressed and sad for you. Like, I'm just feeling like everybody is projecting onto single women, and like, we are fine. We're fine. I'm fine.
I wish I could have a time machine where what I could do is just instantly press my, left and right button here and just skip forward 10, 15 years and see if she's still fine. Because usually what happens is, these older women who are making these comments, I would assume they've probably been in your position and they actually regret it. That's why they're feeling sad for you. That's why they're feeling, in this woman's words, depressed for you, is because they're thinking, wow, this woman better get her head on straight and get this sorted, or things are going to be a lot worse for her. Now, the problem is, as well, guys, is it's kind of like a downward spiral, excuse me. I think that these women are already in a position where it's just completely doomed, because if you were to hand this woman a man who is on her level or above, right, who's like everything she wants, I guarantee you she will still screw up that relationship because she will still think that she can do better. You can give this woman a dude who makes a lot of money, tall, handsome, only has eyes for her, straight out of like some romance book or something, that women absolutely adore. And she will still not be happy with this guy, and she will still look to trade him in, because nobody's perfect, and women are out here oftentimes looking for perfect. This is why, you go through like a whole bunch of different dudes and they just can't pair bond anymore, right? Because they're always going to be considering the previous men that they were with. Well, John over here, he was better because of this reason, and this guy was better for this reason, and so on and so forth, right? They're going to be thinking, well, maybe I could get a man who has more money. Maybe I can get a man who's taller. Maybe I could get a man who's more attractive. By the time women get to this point, in my eyes, guys, it's already doomed. Like, you can just call it a wrap, close up the curtains, call in the cats. It's fine, And
like, we are fine. We're fine. I'm fine. I think what is so especially infuriating about this is that so many people cannot fathom the fact that single women are happy. And I want you to know that research has been done. Like this, we have been studied, actually. We have been studied. We are one of the happiest groups of people, single women and married men. Single women and married men, look it the fuck up.
Okay, so here's the thing. Let's just say that this is true. Color me skeptical, because, I don't generally think that happy people get on TikTok for, what are we at, nearly 4 minutes now of this woman ranting. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. Do you think that happy people set up a video, record themselves, post it to TikTok talking about how happy they are being single, but simultaneously also talking about how pissed off they are about people asking them why they're single? I think happy people who are content, probably are not setting up and recording TikTok videos complaining about things like this. People who are happy are probably chilling. They're probably, I think a better word would probably be content, right? Because nobody's happy all of the time. But people who are happy, people who are content, they are probably not making these long-ass TikTok videos about how happy they are being single. They're probably out there chilling. They're probably out there having a good time. And also, I'm quite skeptical about this research. Maybe I have to look it up at one point because I've seen it be mentioned a few times. But I am quite skeptical, But hey, if the research is true, guys, and it comes out 100% completely infallible, right? That women who are single are happier than every other demographic of women, that's fine by me. I don't care. Nobody cares. If you want to be single, not my problem. If you want to be in a relationship, not my problem. It's probably some dude's problem. It'll be some dude's problem, not mine. But they bring up this research, but it's like, okay, why are we out here trying to prove that we're happy? I don't understand the logic that goes behind this.
And done. Like this, we have been studied, actually. We have been studied. We are one of the happiest groups of people, single women and married men. Single women and married men, look it the fuck up. Look it the fuck up. It is a statistic. And somehow out here, all of the Nancys and all of the fucking Bobs just cannot utterly fathom that we're living our best life, that we're happy.
Living her best life. She's happy. This reminds me of like those women who talk about being strong and independent. I mean, it's much the same, right? Strong and independent. I don't need no man. And then like you scroll further down on their TikTok videos, and there's always a couple videos sprinkling in about how they're sad, right? Because they see their friends getting married, or because some dude doesn't, oh, dating is just a bit confusing, and they get, they have these episodes where they're frustrated and sad about it. I find these videos to be very funny. But you know what? Hats off to this woman. If you're so happy, if you're having a great life, then hey, good luck to you. We'll check back in a few years. We'll see how you're doing. Apparently, this woman has made a whole bunch of videos. Maybe that's some more content. I might mention this to my editor guys. Say, hey, look up this woman. She's probably got some more absolute garbage takes that we could take a look at on future episodes. And also, it's not that people can't understand that you're not, for example, happy or content. They're just kind of asking the question like, yo, what are you doing with your life? Do you want to be strong and independent career woman? Do you want a family? Because if you want a family, if you want a relationship, if you want to marry, this is an option that is, despite the fact that a lot of men are walking away, this is an option that a lot of modern women have. They just completely screw it up.
Somehow out here, all of the Nancys and all of the fucking Bobs just cannot utterly fathom that we're living our best life, that we're happy, and that we're the chooser. So, I mean, stay tuned for part 2, because there's so many reasons why we're single.
Yeah, I mean, I'd believe it. I could probably name a few. So one thing I also wanted to mention, let's go back a little bit here for a second, right, is this concept of levels that modern women talk about. Let me see if I can find the comment where she makes it, right? Yeah, so she says here, listen, I haven't found somebody that's at my level. Let's check this out one more time.
Found somebody that's really at my level. That's where I'm at, that has put in as much work as I have put in.
Okay, so let me pause it here, man, because women talk all the time about, oh, there's no guys on my level. So let me just break this down for a little bit. Firstly, what they're usually talking about, is finances. And then second most commonly is looks. And then third most commonly is like inner healing work. I've been through so much therapy. I want a man who's also worked on himself as well. Yeah, the reason why you've been through so much therapy, by the way, is because you banged so many dudes. Not really good for the psyche, one might imagine. So there's that. But usually it's the income thing. And I really want to stress this again, guys, because dudes who are successful, who make more money, right, who are above average, let's just assume that this woman has an average income, right? She wants a dude who makes above average. Yeah, so do you and pretty much every other woman looking to have some form of long-term relationship, right? So the question becomes, okay, you're suddenly no longer really in the choosing role because these guys do have options with women as well. And these men have absolutely no reason to pick you. Your friends or your girlfriends or dudes might be lying to you and saying that you have a great personality. Let me just cut to the chase here and say, I don't really think that that's true. And a lot of these guys they're not going to pick you because of your wonderful personality, shall we say, And the dudes that you can pick, of course, they're below your level. They're just subhumans and you don't need to pick them. Completely ridiculous to me, man, this whole concept of levels. And again, by the way, just to throw this in here, men do not give a damn about what level you think that you're on, particularly with things like finances. You don't need to be on a level as a woman. We're not trying to compete with you. Men just want a pleasant woman to be, a woman who's pleasant. That's it. Pleasant, take care of your physical health, and you're pretty much there for the majority of guys. But modern women can't even seem to do that, man. Guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. I think the headache induced from this one woman alone is plenty enough. Again, can't imagine why she's single, so we might be leaving that one there. As always, guys, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.